turn on the lights, because the Danbury Westerners are playing tonight. They'll be swinging their bats and they'll be hitting home runs. It's a night of excitement and family fun.
Welcome, sports fans, to another edition of Westerners Roundup.
You ready for this? Ready to kick this thing off?
We are ready to kick off the Westerners' 20th anniversary celebration.
One, two, three. Down at the park, it's time to turn on the lights, because the Danbury Westerners are playing tonight. They'll be swinging their bats and they'll be hitting home runs. It's a night of excitement and family fun. Westy helps everybody cheer on the team, as the crowd snacks some popcorn and delicious ice cream. On a warm summer night, you know it's always a treat. Westerners baseball simply cannot be beat. Everybody knows the score. The fans screaming out for more. Excitement fills out through the night, as victory is soon in sight. The runner advances as he heads for home plate. Rounding the bases, there will be no debate. When the last run is in, the fans will proclaim the Danbury Westerners have won the game. Everybody knows the score. The fans keep screaming out for more. Excitement fills out through the night, as victory is soon in sight. The runner advances as he heads for home plate. Rounding the bases, there will be no debate. When the last run is in, the fans will proclaim the Danbury Westerners have won the game. Go Westerners! Happy 20th anniversary!
All right, nice kickoff to the celebration today. I'd like to thank Bob up here on lead vocals.
Yes.
Yes, we know Neil Diamond very well.
All right, we're going to do one for you Boston Red Sox fans out here this afternoon.
Wait a minute. There's Red Sox fans here? What's a Red Sox?
I think there might be a couple. I'm sure they're outnumbered by the Yankee fans.
No, they're no. I think they'd be more outnumbered by the Met
I
fans.
think there's probably the Mets. Who are they?
They play in New York too.
Oh, okay. I'm familiar with them. All right, we're gonna do this song. Bill Pullman wanted to hear this one, so of course.
So we'll give this.
Where it began, I can't begin to know it, but I know it's coming strong. Was in the spring, and spring became the summer. Every day you come along. Here we go, Bill. One touching one, reaching out, touching me, touching you. Sweet Caroline. Good times never seem so good.
So good. So good.
I've been inclined to believe they never would, but now I seems so lonely. We fill it up with only two. And when I hurt, burden runs off my shoulder. How can I hurt when I'm with you? One touching one, reaching out, touching me, touching you.
Sweet Caroline, bop, bop, bop.
Good times
Never seemed so good. I'm inclined, bop, bop, bop,
to believe they
never would, but
now. That's for Bill out there
That's for Bill Poolin and the Jimmy Fund.
in the outfield.
On January 9, 1995, Westerner President Rich Reimold, Vice President GM Mario Tiani, Bob Ryerson, and Dick Murray made a formal presentation to the NECBL Board of Directors requesting acceptance as a member team in the league for the 95 season. The Westerners were approved unanimously by the NECBL Board of Directors that evening. Also approved the Central Mass Collegians and the Waterbury Barons. The NECBL had itself 6 teams for the 95 campaign. The Bristol Nighthawks, Middletown Giants, Eastern Tides, Central Mass Collegians, Waterbury Barons, and the Danbury Westerners. Now, to introduce some guests present today and their affiliation with the program. The founder of the New England Collegiate Baseball League, Ridgefield resident, Emmy Award-winning television producer and director, and a 2010 NECBL Hall of Fame inductee, Joe Constantino. The visionary, 6-term City of Danbury mayor from '89 to 2001, Gene Eriquez. The longest running mayor in the history of the city of Danbury. Elected in 2001, Mayor Mark Mountain. The Charter Executive Board Committee. The first Danbury Westerner president, chairman of the Westerner Business Operations, Western Connecticut State U, Professor Emeritus Rich Reimold. The first Westerner Vice President, General Manager of Baseball Operations and Recruiting for over a decade. NECBL Deputy Commissioner from 2005 to 2006 and Commissioner from 2007 to 2012. A 2013 NECBL Hall of Fame inductee, Mario Tiani. The first Westerner Treasurer responsible for accounting all the money. Food concession operation, which came to be known as the Chuck Wagon, Mr. Bruce Svensson. The first Westerner Secretary, Keeper of Business Records and Board Meeting Minutes, Joe Vittorio. Charter Board members, Danbury Parks and Rec Coordinator, City of Danbury Rep, the man who coordinated and supervised Rogers Park's lighted field, and the planning and implementation going for a fundraising campaign that included corporate sponsorship, the program book, the Showcase Celebrity Breakfast, a Westerner president from 2002 to 2003, executive vice president of the New England Collegiate Baseball League from 2007 to 2012, Mr. Richard Murray. A Western Connecticut State University Vice President of Finance, a representative from Western President Dr. Jim Roach, coordinator of Western's facility requirements, and administered WCSU funding support, Rich Sullivan. Western Connecticut State U Athletic Department representative, and an assistant Westerner GM with first-year player selection, an outstanding baseball coach in his own right, Mr. Bill Walton, the doctor. Past Westerner presidents. From 2001 to 2001, this gentleman was a Westerner president. He is the longest-running left-hand pitcher in the history of the universe, Mr. Chris R. Conti. Westerner president from 2006 to 2009, Michael Malone, the hardest working man in the soda business. Past general manager of the Westerners, a VP and GM from 2005 to 2012, it is Terry Whalen. And the current Westerner president, starting in 2010, Mr. Paul Schaefer. Major Westerner sponsors. An executive director of the Housatonic Valley Tourism District, Kathy Cedor. Housatonic Valley Tourist District gentlemen who developed the first websites for the Westerner and the NECBL, along with Rich Rossiter, Mr. Bob McLeod. The gentleman who put on the first Westerner broadcast on radio before things could get shifted to the internet, and certainly has provided a lot for the Westerners over the years. 800 AM WLAD CEO, Mr. Irving J. Goldstein. Former Westerner board member, along with her late husband, former News Times editor Ed Freed, manned the chuck wagon on many a night. The legendary Mary Ann Freed. Recognizing some in-kind sponsors on hand. A gentleman who spent 19 years in the NECBL front office, a man from Double R Design. He created the Westerner logo and uniform graphics. He is a 2013 NECBL Hall of Fame inductee, Rich Rossiter. Representing outstanding Westerner supporters over the years, from the Norman E. Mitchell Company and family, Mr. Mike Mitchell. Past Westerner coaches on hand here. First-year assistant coach, second-year Danbury Westerner head coach, Ron Carizzo. Gentleman who's virtually done it all with the Westerners. In fact, he's even been a past Westerner treasurer and NECBL deputy commissioner for 6 years, Eve Mengen. Currently, and a long-running Danbury High head baseball coach and a former Westerner assistant, Mr. Sean Ratchford. I know we had some folks here tonight who were unable to attend, but we'd like to recognize, including a former assistant Westerner GM and charter board member, and an outstanding high school coach in his own right, Art Haddad. A former Westerner board member involved in marketing and sales, Bill Brink. Former Westerner board member and legal counsel, Don Jowdy. Former Western Connecticut State President, Dr. Roach. Charles Chick Frush, the former president of Union Savings Bank. And John Klein, the former USB vice president. The owner of TK's American Cafe, Mr. Tom Kennedy. Former News Times publisher and a gentleman responsible for media relations and publicity co-chair and fundraising campaigns Wayne Shepard, and also the former Danbury Parks and Rec Director, Bob Ryerson, who could not be on hand today. A big hand for our folks on the field, ladies and gentlemen. At this time, we have some of our selected guests who are going to address the crowd here today. First and foremost, the founder of the NECBL, Joe Cosentino.
Thank you very much. It's hard to believe it's 20 years since we made that call to Gene and met with the committee. But what we have here is probably one of the best franchises in the history of the NECBL. The Danbury Westerners have sent more players into professional baseball than any franchise in our league. Let's give them a round of applause for that, please. So many men and women are responsible for putting this organization together. And so nice to see them still involved in some capacity. What we need is for every one of you who attended today to bring people out to see this wonderful game of baseball, played by players that I believe are equivalent to a minor league A program. So without your support and without your spreading the word, we want to fill up this ballpark every single game, and hopefully with your help, this will happen. So again, many thanks. It's so hard to believe 20 years have gone by, and hopefully Mountaineers and Danbury Westerners, this is the beginning for you guys, for a career that we hope someday we'll see you on the little tube. And by that time, that little tube will be 80 inches or more. Thank you.
Now, former mayor of the city of Danbury, Gene Eric West.
Thank you. It's great to be here with you this afternoon, and it's to celebrate the 20 years of the Danbury Westerners. I remember 20 years ago when Joe and George Foster had come to visit us to be able to help us meet our goal of bringing the next level of quality baseball to the city of Danbury for people to enjoy, and to present an opportunity for student athletes from around the country to come to the city of Danbury to hone their skills and to be able to grow their resumes as they seek to further not only their education but perhaps their careers in this wonderful sport. The sport of baseball, which is so much a part of our American pop culture. It's been important to the city of Danbury, it's been important to our country, and we wanted to do whatever we could do to present an opportunity where we would provide the best franchise within the New England Collegiate Baseball League, and I believe we've proven that for the course of 20 years. I had the honor and privilege to serve as mayor 20 years ago. When I was 6'2" and about 20 pounds lighter. And many of us always have dreamed of a career in sports or some association with sports. Of course, I was too short to play basketball, not heavy enough or fast enough to play football. I had 20/20 vision, so I couldn't be an umpire. But nonetheless, we had great times by being associated and leading and advising the Danbury Westerners through the years. So that's been my pleasure and my involvement in that regard. I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank the city of Danbury, all the wonderful people who've been involved through the course of the 20 years for its commitment. To our initial partner, Western Connecticut State University, Dr. Jim Roach and Rich Sullivan, who were instrumental in enhancing our town-gown relations to be able to make this opportunity available to these collegiate student athletes. And I certainly want to thank our community partners, all of those wonderful businesses, and in particular, there's so many volunteers through the years that you see lined here and beyond who have made the success of the Westerners possible. They have given their time, a fair amount of their treasure, and have shared their wonderful talents with us to ensure the success of the Westerners for 20 years, and we hope they will continue to do that for another 20 years. And to all of our players, to our coaching staff, Jamie, to all of you folks, we wish you well, having a great season in 2014. Always exemplify the wonderful spirit of sportsmanship that has been known to be a part of the Westerners franchise and organization. But always remember the words of Leo DeRocher, who said, "Never question the integrity of an umpire, only their eyesight." God bless you. Have a great season.
Now, the first ever Danbury Westerners president, Rich Reimold.
I would like to reiterate what Joe said when Joe came to town and talked to all of us, that this town just caught fire with this whole idea of NECBL baseball. And I really believe that after watching the teams from Danbury compete, that we have been very competitive over the years, and of course that has been proven with the number of players that we have. So I would like to thank all the people who joined me when we first got organized, and how the hard work that everybody put in to make this happen initially, and to really compliment both mayors for over the years being very much a part of what we've tried to do here in Danbury. So thank you all, and for the team, lots of luck this year, and go get them.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the mayor of the city of Danbury, Mark Bowden.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be here this evening. This was a wonderful legacy to accept from Gene when he left office, and we made a commitment. We shook hands and said that we're going to continue the Westerners here in the city of Danbury because we believe so strongly in the vision and the idea and the thought of having this great team here. You know, Bart was starting a little bit earlier, read off a list of names of teams that the league had started with. Many of those teams are now gone, but the Westerners are still here. And so that's just a testament to the hard work of the board, the hard work of the volunteers, the hard work of our Parks and Rec staff that's down here all the time grooming the facilities, and of course a wonderful job of recruiting the players that are here tonight to play this evening's game. All of this comes together, not just this year, but over the last 20 years to put a quality product out on the field. So I want to thank everybody for what you've done. We want to continue the good work that's already been done and build upon that in the coming years. I think over the next 4 or 5 years, Jack Young has convinced me to put some more money into our facility here. And so we've got some, I think, some pretty good surprises up here. Really good come for you. I don't see too much yet, but I'm working on something. But the point is, we love having baseball here in the heart of City Center. So great job. Keep up the terrific work. These guys have already guaranteed a victory tonight. And of course, we're excited for the rest of the season. God bless you. And again, thanks, Danbury, for being here.
I'd also like to mention very quickly some of the folks who could not be on hand here tonight. A gentleman who was instrumental, especially early on, in helping a lot of the ball players, Dr. Don Teague of Sports Vision and Ridgefield Eye Care. Jimmy Stout, former News Times sports writer, who right now is in Florida covering 117 teams at the same time for Max Preps. Former president of the Westerners, Martin Medford, who was the president from 2004 to 2005, and former longtime Westerner skipper Mo Morhart, who could not be on hand this evening. Our congratulations and thanks to all the people who did make it here tonight for the 20th anniversary celebration. A big round of applause, everyone.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Richard. Next up, former Mayor Gene Eriquez. That's a balk, Gino. Pretty darn good, babe. And now, Timothy Villa, representing Newtown Youth Baseball. Way to go for the Southpaw. Ladies and gentlemen, game time. Let's play ball and let's go Westerners.